We had Exotic Dog Talk today with Bad and BOUJEE Kennels, and I've been watching this man for a while. I've been watching what he's been doing with his program, and like I say, I'm all back into, if you're gonna make money off the dogs, you gotta reinvest back into your program. So in this, like I say, I personally watches his page. So I want to introduce y'all to the dog father himself, Bad and BOUJEE Kennels. Brandon is in the building.
What's going on, y'all? This is Brandon, Bad and BOUJEE Kennels. Man, it's a pleasure to be here with y'all.
Yeah, it's a pleasure to have you here too, brother.
Thank you for having me,
say,
man.
I'm a fan of yours. I watch you put, money into your dogs. As a dog person, you can look and tell who take the dog serious and who, just trying to, probably won't last long. And I definitely see you taking the craft very serious, and I appreciate it because, like you say, coming out Atlanta, Georgia, coming from the South, man, we need more people like you.
I really appreciate that, man, because, traveling around, like you said, going to different states and seeing things in California and New York and Miami, and I already know what Atlanta has to offer.
Exactly.
And it's a lot.
It is, yeah.
And the fact that, on some of these platforms out there in the U.S., like, we quiet.
You right.
And I'm like, there's no reason. It's like football, like we got the talent, we got everything there needs to be, but it feels good to that there's other people that we're banding together, because that's what it takes for a lot of these people out there, just these big kennels. It's not a one man show.
It's definitely not. And like touching back on that, I think for us as a whole, for us like a state, a city, I just feel like we should put more emphasis on not just advertising to sell the pups, but just advertising, the lifestyle of the dogs. So like that's another reason why I really, wanted you here, and just how's your day-to-day life? I mean, I don't know how many dogs do you have?
Man, so I got a little under 20.
A little under 20?
20 dogs, yeah.
So how's the management of you managing 20 dogs?
It's a full-time gig, man. And it's not a full-time gig for me. It's a full-time gig for families.
You're right.
Like it's not just me. These dogs feed, these dogs feed my cousins. These dogs feed me, my children, my aunts, my uncles. Like these dogs aren't just feeding me. They're feeding, the guy that I met a year ago that said he was tired of working a 9 to 5.
Right.
And he sink or swim, he jumped. And goddamn it, he's out there, killing it.
It definitely opened doors for people like that, and like that's another good thing. Like I say, that I see about you, and you being such a good person in the dog game. So like, what would you say to a person that's trying to start off, that don't have a huge budget? Let's just say they got a $5,000-$10,000 budget, and they trying to get in the dog game, and they look at you as as this where I want to be one day.
Man, that's a perfect question, because I tell people all the time, there's a huge, I want to say, crash right now going on right now, and it's happening with the fluffy game, and everybody as hustlers, entrepreneurs, there's a huge group of people that want to make moves, and it makes sense to find something that's cheaper or maybe a little shorter route, but I'm telling you, when it comes to this dog game, man, you pay for what you get. Scare money don't make money, and it's the truth, because I've seen so many people out there that made that play that I was like, damn, scratching my head like, this fool just got a fluffy for $15K. Like, it makes you question kind of what you've been doing.
Exactly.
And now they stuck with it.
You're right.
And it's $15K, which is or whatever it is, $10K, $15K, $25K, and depending on the DNA and the fluffy, it looks like they got down. Like I'm saying, we're out here buying, let's say, Lambos. We paying $250, $300K,
exactly.
And someone hits you up and is like, hey, I got one for $80. It kind of jerks you a little bit, like, damn, like, what's going on? And then all of a sudden, they stuck with it.
Exactly.
And that's saying, man, you pay for what you get. I swear to God, in this dog industry, that's 100%. It's facts. It's facts all day.
So what would you direct them to do with that 5 or 10 as a starting point?
So with that 5 or 10K, keep saving.
Nah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah,
either keep saving or take that 5 or 10K and put the other 10 or 5K into that work and find someone that you can say, hey, and this happened to me. Like, I went out there and busted my ass for some fire, because I'm going to be real with you. I didn't have the money.
Yeah.
I didn't have the credit. But I had that work. Right. And I went out there and I was grinding every single day, and I took that job like I was a professional athlete. Like, I was waking up in the morning, I was cleaning shit.
Exactly.
I was sticking my fingers in places that didn't want to go. I was doing I did everything that it took. The shit that the people don't want to do, that's what I was doing. Exactly. And I turned around and flipped my first litter for $30K. I'll never forget it. And I paid 10 for my female out of Switzerland. Yeah.
And that felt really good.
Man, it felt
the
so
money,
good.
Yeah, like I said,
I got bit.
Yeah, like the first time I sold a pup, I think I got like $8,000. But like I say, me and my daughter, we had so much fun riding in the car, playing with that money, the $8,000, just because it was like, it meant a lot more to us than just, that money. You know what I mean? So like, how much you say you have invested into dogs?
Right now, I'd say I got about $250,000
invested in Frenchies.
In Frenchies alone. Yeah, that's all I do is Frenchies.
Y'all see Avatar down there, so y'all see how he coming, He not coming to play. Avatar is a certified stud. I mean, y'all can look at him and see him. We're gonna make sure we drop Bad and Bougie Kennel's name right under there. Y'all should see it when y'all should see
how you got the hardware to go with the name. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And that's another big thing in this game. You know, a lot of people talk, but and this was always my thing. So before I got into Frenchies, I was doing German Shepherds. I was importing, training German Shepherds for private security. Okay. And doing detail work. Okay. And my saying was always, the proof's in the pudding. Okay. You can show me a badass German Shepherd, but you look at my German Shepherd, he gonna hop up on this table, he ain't gonna move no matter what happens. You could put him through any scenario, and it's different because it's workability with German Shepherds. What can he do to show the value and what he's worth? Exactly. With a Frenchie, what do they look like? What's their DNA, color, the structure? So it was a whole different world.
So how do you feel about the Pie and the Brindle dogs?
I love the shit out of Pied and Brindle dogs. I'm going to talk about that right now.
Let's touch on it.
The Pied and the Brindle dogs, the whole saying about Pied and Brindle, that's marketing 101. Yeah. No Pied, no Brindle, marketing. Because I'll tell you what, the original French Bulldog was a Pied and Brindle. So what when people tell me I got a French Bulldog and I'm not looking for Pied and Brindle, I can almost damn near tell you've been breeding dogs for less than 365 days.
Exactly.
That's just a wrap. And there are people out there
that come from the research that they doing, and they seeing all the other breeders say no Pied, no Brindle. When it come, they don't know. A lot of people that I found out like that actually want the dogs for pets. They more so, they don't care if the dog is Pied or Brindle. But when you deal with like people that's trying to breed them and flip them and do stuff like that, then that's when I encounter the most like, well, I don't want if it carry Brindle or if it's Pied or stuff like that,
And let me tell you why. Brindle and Pied are a dominant gene.
Right. And
when you have a Brindle or a Pied dog, normally it's going to throw that gene. And a lot of people don't. A lot of people like to mix it up.
Exactly.
And there's a lot of boys out there in the West Coast that have hashtag no Pied, no Brindle, and it's a great. I can't knock them because they got the clientele out there buying into it.
You're right.
So, and I'm never gonna knock anybody else.
Yeah, but I just feel like it's leading people the wrong way, and I feel like us with this platform that we have. We're going to try to open up the doors so people know exactly about, it's nothing wrong with a Pied dog. There's nothing wrong with a Brindle dog. It's all personal preference, but as a breeder, so would you breed Pied and Brindle dogs?
100%. I'm pretty sure Powerhouse Kennels. Y'all know Powerhouse Kennels?
Yeah, no Powerhouse, yeah.
That motherfucker been winning shows left and right with a Brindle dog.
With a Brindle
dog, he been killing it.
Yeah.
And power to him, man. He been killing it. No competition.
Yeah,
with that Brindle dog.
I think I seen that Brindle dog too.
Mhm.
Yeah, it goes for like the AKC standards.
Yeah.
So when they go back to that, the dog definitely had a confirmation for the AKC standards.
And I took a big risk with the Isabella Brindle. People are like, oh, you going with the rarest color, but you dropping a bag on it, and now all of a sudden it's got Brindle. I don't know about that. Then I'm going out to these big time breeders, and they're trying to buy them off me for a bag and a half.
Yeah.
Because they know. It's the foundation of a good structured French bulldog. 100%.
He giving y'all real game on the
I'm
show.
giving y'all
Brandon coming to drop the game. The dog father is in the building right now.
Yeah, I'm telling y'all. Anybody listen up, because I'm telling you, the French bulldog original, like the OGs, is Pied and Brindle.
Right.
And it's okay to have a litter where some of them didn't catch the Pied and the Brindle, or some of them didn't catch the Brindle, but they caught that structure.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. And those the ones that you like. You know what? Like, I'm gonna keep doing this regardless of what this person may say, regardless of what they say. I love the way this dog is built.
100%.
Exactly. Like 100%. You feel good with like the production that you produce. Like, the 100%. Structure. I can stand on this. I take this dog to this show. I don't care if the biggest dog in the world is here. I feel comfortable with putting my dog next to him.
100%.
Yeah, exactly. I
got an example of that. I went out to a friend of mine, and I won't mention their name, but they had a mishap in their family and lost a loved one, so they were in a bind. And I went out there to California and picked up some fluffies, because I can't keep them fast enough. I mean, I can't produce them fast enough.
Yeah,
but I'm damn sure not going to be some backyard kennel just pumping dogs out. I'm only doing quality.
Exactly.
So quality over quantity. If you're looking for the cheapest or you're looking for a deal, don't come to me.
Exactly.
And I went out to help. And same thing, no Pied, no Brindle. Well, I searched back and I started looking. I'm like, damn, the dad got Brindle, the mom got Brindle. Nobody got Brindle. I brought him back here, and I'm not going to lie, they looked like boxers, man.
Yeah.
They long legs, long back, but testable chocolate.
They had the DNA.
Cream. They got everything everybody wants. And me as the student that I am in this game, I just couldn't do it. I can't. I don't care if you came to me with a dog that's worth over $50K, and I can't even let this dog go for $1,000 because it just goes against everything.
I stand for
and I had to send it back.
Because it's your brand at the end of the day.
At the end of the day,
it's all about your brand, and you building a good brand. And like I say, I look at it and I watch what you're doing, and I definitely think like the way you head it is like far as greatness when it comes to putting out quality dogs around the South, not just Georgia. So like, where you see yourself in the next 5 years in your program?
Man, I just see myself being an arm or a leg or a neck or a head or a chest or a shoulder to Atlanta, just rising up and taking over.
Yeah.
That's my passion.
Yeah.
That's my passion. I've already hit the pinnacle. I've already hit I seen the money. We accidentally sold a dog for once $175K out in California, like I think I told you about backstage.
No, we need to talk about that right now. Let's tell them about that.
So we went to a show in Ontario, and we ended up getting stuck on a return flight back to Atlanta, and it was to midnight. We were supposed to fly back at like 3, right after the show. So my girl loves the Kardashians. She always talking about watching the blah 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 blah, And there's a restaurant called Nobu's, and she's like, there normally a lot of people are here, yada yada yada, which I could care less. But I'm trying to get that good food. Yeah, exactly. I'm like, we out here on the West Coast. I'm trying to get some good seafood. Exactly. I'm originally from Miami, or Fort Lauderdale.
Shout out Miami.
Shout out Miami, yes sir, 305. And we went out there and walked in the restaurant. The lady looked at us like, because mind you, we just came from a dog show. We ain't dressed like celebrities.
Yeah.
So we walk in there. She looked us up and down. She like, Yeah, if y'all didn't put in a reservation a month ago, y'all probably ain't gonna eat here. Just letting y'all know. Ooh. But what she didn't know is I had 2 motherfucking fluffies in my pocket.
Yeah.
In my literal pocket. Like, we call them pocket fluffies, is what we were telling everybody down there. Mm-hmm. We were selling Pokemon. And so I told my girl I was going to go use the restroom. I said, hey, pull one of these out, walk to the bar, see if you can get a drink. I swear to God, I went to the bathroom, I walked back. She's sitting with a couple at the table getting served. 15 minutes, we had a table. So we're down talking to some Swiss watch person and some big-time real estate person in California, which ended up being interested in buying French Bulldogs. And within 2 hours, we spent about 2 hours there before we had to rush back. We went to the bathroom, stopped at the bathroom, and this lady walked by me that looked really familiar. And I was like, that's weird, because who's going to look familiar out here in L.A.? And it ended up being Kourtney Kardashian with their daughter, Penelope. And we're sitting out there, my girl goes in the bathroom, Kourtney goes into the bathroom, and I'm like looking at her like, she definitely gonna know who this is. And I'm holding the fluffy, and the girl comes up to me like, what is that? Is this a baby polar bear? Is this, a koala bear? What is this? Because baby French bulldogs that are fluffy, nobody knew what they were. We had numbers of people stopping us at Nobu's.
Definitely was innovative for sure.
Which ended up, accumulatively at that restaurant selling about $500,000 worth of dogs in that restaurant alone. And that's the crazy thing about this game, man.
So you sold a dog to a Kardashian.
$175,000. Yep. And I can't say who I sold it to, because we had certain people make you fill out NDAs, and you can't post about it, or you can't publish it. And I get that, but they're going to buy other dogs, and so it's good.
It's still an accolade.
But there's people out there in LA buying dogs for $175,000 plus. And I'm not gonna play like I'm one of the big sharks. There's $500,000 dogs going out there. Yes, sir. Sheesh. Pink Koi Husky.
Oh yeah, Frenchie. Man. And so how you feel about the I've been looking online, the big ropes, the new big ropes.
Man,
they kind of I'm on my platform, so I'm gonna be honest. It's the new thing. It's like almost when the fluffy hit, but it kind of just reminded me too much of a Shar-Pei. It kind of it just looks. It took away the Frenchie for me. That's for me. But how you feel about the big rope Frenchies?
If that rope is touching the nose and rolling over, it's a no-go for me.
We like to say, it give me Shar-Pei, man. It gives Shar-Pei for sure.
But you can get a big rope that's nice, and that's quality. There's a guy. Shout out to Justin with Maui Kennels.
Yeah. Shout out him, Maui.
HBK.
I reached out to him.
He looks good, man. Yeah, he looks great, and I've done business with Justin, and he's nothing but professional. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Like
every time I reached out, I always been like the same.
He's the real deal, and that guy, man. He takes his craft serious.
Yeah, he does. Yeah,
and he's a good role model. He's a good person.
Shout out Dog Money.
Shout out Maui Line. Yes, sir. Shout out Admiral Exotics.
Yeah,
Justin,
Admiral
Exotics.
That dude. Shout out him.
He
for sure. And
he's
Texas,
done
man.
a lot. Texas,
Those
boys, they wild, man.
Going back to the regional thing when it comes to the dogs. As far as like, I seen Texas like innovate a whole lot of different. If not, I think it was either Cali or Texas where I think I seen my first fluffy.
Cali or Texas? It's got to be one of them.
Yeah, it was one of them for sure.
If it's not Texas selling to Cali, it's Cali selling to Texas.
Texas, exactly.
And they band together.
Exactly.
And that's the thing. That's the thing, man. And I hit on with Prestigious Kennels.
Yeah.
And he's my boy. Shout out Prestigious Kennels, man. That's my boy right there. It's like in Atlanta, everybody got a chip on their shoulder. Yeah. Everybody, and for good reason, I get it. Yeah. But everybody's watching their six, and it's like, if we can just all learn, he's got this side, he's got this, I got this, and we band together, they wouldn't compete with us.
So how you think we band the camaraderie together? Cause my whole thing is I done, like been to dog shows. I even met you at the dog show that Danny them through.
Shout out Danny. Yep.
At this point, I didn't know I have a podcast or be doing a podcast and then, but that's when I initially met you, and I won't forget it because I think maybe it was only maybe 4 of us that really had fluffies. You know what I'm saying? But I always knew that. I started following you that day, and ever since then, like you say, I've been a follower of your work and the things you're doing, and I also incorporated a little into my yard and what I'm trying to do, and hopefully I get some of this Avatar blood on my yard.
Yes, sir.
And we definitely gonna go that way.
There's no hopefully. We making that shit happen.
We gonna make that shit happen.
Yes,
sure.
sir. That's 100.
And we gonna try to put on for the city as we can, and we just know, like at the end of the day, we need Atlanta to be just as great with the hip hop community, with the dogs. Just like how everybody, all the rappers come together. Let's come together with these dogs and let's really put on for the city. And so when people know, like, oh, I bought this dog from Atlanta, they almost know it came from quality.
Right.
Yeah,
And that's what we got. That's all we got. We got a lot of quality here in Atlanta.
Yeah, but we got to bring it out and we got to show it, because the person that I spend a lot of my money with dogs, he does no advertising. He does no advertising at all. He don't know, but he's the man with the dogs.
And I feel like that's a huge, that's another huge thing to Atlanta. If you talk to Justin, some of his mentors are right here in Atlanta.
That's crazy.
They're the ones that put him on to the $1 million dog. He got several $1 million dogs.
Yeah,
where'd they come from? They didn't come from Germany. They didn't come from Colombia, Switzerland. Yeah. They right here in our city. Yeah, and that's the crazy part.
Yeah, they hooking up and cooking it up, and not only that, it's more or less of a thing where I think they all, once you get tied in to a circle, you try to everybody, we're gonna, okay, this is gonna be the circle, this is gonna be the circle, this is where the blood gonna circulate at. Like we touched on, some people like a lot of kennels like Rick and with the Sue's blood and stuff, they make you sign contracts, and you can't run their dogs to certain dogs unless that's a breach of contract.
Yep.
So it's like, I just think if we get organized here and really, I think it's gonna take more than just shows. How you feel about that? You think the shows can just?
It's definitely gonna take more than shows. It's gonna take a lot of trust.
Exactly.
It's gonna take a lot of trust,
exactly.
And that's a big piece. I feel like a lot of people are walking over. There's a shit ton of money, and whenever there's a shit ton of money, there's backstabbing, there's side hustling, there's all sorts of shit that run around. It's just like drug money.
You're right.
And I feel like we haven't addressed the fact that, hey, this is $1 billion industry. With a B.
With a B. Big B.
Big B. You know what I'm saying? And I live in Trilith, and I've been approached by a couple people that work at Netflix. I'm like, you ever thought about starting a Netflix show? And I'm like, well, what would we call it? And one of the ladies brought it up, and she's like, let's call it Frenchy Cowboys. And I'm thinking, why does he call it Frenchy Cowboys? She's like, well, the reason people were interested in cocaine cowboys was because all the money that was surrounded by it, and people don't really know the money that's wrapped in the Frenchies, so let's start it off with that. And a light bulb went off in my head, and I'm like, that's why all this shit's so fucked up. Right. Especially in the city right here.
Yeah, you're right.
And you got people at Piedmont Park, women getting beat up, and their basic ass French bulldogs getting stolen. Yeah, you hear about all this shit, and this is a number one stolen dog. And I feel like here in Atlanta, if we just semi-teamed up, we crushed the market. Crushed the market. I mean, we got the biggest airport in the world. We could be shipping to China. We could be hooking everybody up. Not just the U.S., international. Yeah. I'm talking big world stuff. Not just, like hooking the U.K. up. Because the U.K.'s been fucking us up for 2 years now because all of them band together. And they selling us shitty-ass dogs for over 6 figures, and we buying them. Yeah. We buying them. Right. We buying your little Jiminy Cricket and your little fucking Tiny Tims,
Right.
and we happy about it, and they over there celebrating.
Yeah.
You know, riding around in the race and riding around in the jet. You know, charters and all that, because they full. And I'm just saying, like, and they split us up. They split us up. They talk to one kennel, they talk to another kennel. One thinks they're bigger than the other.
It's a lot of egos, man.
It's a lot of egos,
It's
man,
a
in
lot
this
of
game.
egos, so when you can work your way around the egos of the politics, I think you know, just not Atlanta, but the whole South be where we need to be far as world dominance when it comes to, you know, the dog game. Not saying that we gotta try to dominate it, but I'm just saying, like, let's just say if they throw a show in Kansas, and you know, and this is gonna be the biggest show, everybody, you know, the big people coming from, it's like the Coachella of dog shows.
Right.
I wanna know when my city come, we coming and we showing out.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
So the first person I'm calling is people like you, people that I know that's coming, and we coming correct.
Exactly.
Yeah, like, so that's
and there's and that's what Texas does.
You're right.
Texas has been coming correct. They people hated on them for calling and dogs 5 deep, but they're the ones that breeding their dogs every day at 5 to 10K. Some of them even more, 30 days straight. Literally, they don't even have time to take your phone call because they out there breeding.
Yeah, getting them AI.
And sometimes they're doing 8 dogs in one day.
Yeah,
and then they split it. You know, it's just they banded together and they've kind of figured that shit out. That's why they they're buying a car every month. You know, and that's just.
So tell the people what's the process like if they want to come and get a dog from Bad and Bougie Kennels. What's the whole process like?
The process is really finding what their passion is.
Okay.
What do they want to do?
Okay. So you ain't trying to sell them on color.
I ain't trying to sell them on color. I ain't trying to sell them on. I got something for everybody.
Okay.
And whether it's color or whether it's not, the structure's gonna be there.
Okay.
So they're gonna be able to take their dog to a dog show and feel good, not go, oh shit, let me take this dog back to the car.
Yeah,
because I seen that shit at the. I seen that shit.
Yeah.
Every single show I've been to, I've seen people walk in
and
get a snack and walk right the fuck out. And you know what I'm saying? And I damn sure know that any of my people that buying dogs to breed are gonna feel confident when they walk into it. They're gonna have either a foundational dog or they're gonna pay to play, and they're gonna jump in and they're gonna be with top dogs.
You're right.
You know.
You're right.
I got it.
And so that gets me back around to far as the newcomers, okay, I got me 20, 30,000 and I done been looking at Bad and Bougie dogs and he don't know where to take it from there. So like far as the new people that's coming and they actually done grind and worked up the money to actually come to you with a nice amount. So, like, how's that process for them? Like, do you help them out in the long run, maybe if they need you for maybe, advice, any type of, like, food, because some people like raw food, some people like kibble,
Man, this industry, this dog game, this shit is what I do 24/7 all day, every day. My birthday is Saturday. I'm going to be helping motherfuckers out Saturday all day. This shit is just what I do. And when they fuck with me, I'm going to fuck with them.
That's real.
And I got people that don't fuck with me that I fuck with, and they end up fucking with me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I got a dude, I won't say his name, but he's a professional basketball player. He's been coming to me, he didn't really want, he was kind of looking at some big time studs. Been doing progesterone tests with me, and normally I don't do progesterone tests unless you're fucking with my studs.
Okay.
But been doing progesterone tests with me, and then all of a sudden last day, he switched. He used Avatar.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, I don't know how to raise a litter, I don't know how to this a litter, I don't know how to... But when you asking me questions, you're not taxing me because this is what I love to do. Like just like LeBron James like to go out there and hoop with his boys. Yeah. It's free work for me.
That's right.
So if I got the time, I'm gonna fuck with you and I'm gonna make sure you're as successful as you can because I was in that spot.
And see, that's really dope because that brings us back around to that goes to show like how serious you are about your business, your craft, your dogs, and I think people that come along, they definitely gonna feel comfortable knowing that okay, I'm spending my money with somebody that ain't gonna answer my phone call in 2 weeks.
Nah.
You know what I mean?
And that's and I can't tell you how many people I say recruit, but they just come to me and I'm like, damn, they got 6'5", 4" female. They ain't got nobody they can reach out to. But I don't really bring that up because I know how that could feel. I know how when someone, especially coming from the streets, and someone that just straight, I'm the black sheep of my family. I've hustled my whole life. I've been out of my house since I was 15 years old. Everything I worked for was just blood, sweat, and tears. And I feel for people like that come to me, especially here in the city, and it's like, damn, I bought this dog, blah, 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 yada, 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 whatever their situation is. On top of the love for the game, and I mix it up, I swear to God, you could probably reach out and say, has it Brandon Bermuda has done anybody wrong in this French Bulldog game? And people are going to have nothing but nice things to say. Not because I'm looking for that, but because this shit is what I do 24/7, and I love it. I'll talk about it, and I'm not going to tax you for it.
Yeah, so all egos aside, you hear him himself, just like I do at Shark Tank Kennels, we for the people. So we answering your call. We ain't finna sell you a dog or do business with you or not pick your phone up. Just like Bad and Bougie Kennels, it's the same way. We definitely ain't letting our egos get to it. It's all about bettering the dogs. If he got some game, he can share with me. If I got something, I can share with him. We shoot DMs, vice versa, going back and forth, conversating about things, and like that's how you build good, solid relationships in anything that you do. You want to build you some good, solid relationship with some good people, and then you work around that.
Facts.
And I feel like that's kind of the key to success when it comes to, a lot of the things that you do, not just the dog. So my next question for you is like, so how you feel about the other breeds, the English bulldogs, the bullies, the micro, the nano bullies? It's just all just Frenchies.
Man, so I've done the English bulldogs. I've done the English bulldogs and the French bulldogs. And you just gotta come prepared when you got them English bulldog, because there's a lot of health problems. There's a lot of issues that come up with it. And the thing is, like, say my boy comes up with 10 grand for a fluffy female or a fluffy carrier female at 10 months old. I know he's probably not gonna have to worry about any vet bills. First of all, I do everything outside of C-section, so I damn near know I'm a hook his ass up. He ain't gonna have to worry about vet bills. Exactly. Now English bulldogs, they have a lot more issues, and I know from experience. I mean, I've whelped 21 English bulldogs from December 10th to January 15th, and sold all them motherfuckers. But that shit was work.
It was work. Cleaning the wrinkles,
working with aspirated dog, working with swimmer feet, having these. I built 2x4s in a straight line just so these motherfuckers could walk. So they got the starfish out of them because they had the arms out like this and shit. Yeah. I said, and I made 6 figures with the dogs, and I was like, but I ain't gonna make that again. I'm gonna take it into the French bulldogs.
Okay. What made you decide to switch?
So long story short, my mom, she lost her father and her dad in a short span, and in midst of buying her new house, she ran an English bulldog named Charlie. Motherfucker's cute as hell, and that kind of pushed her into, hey, if I'm gonna spend some money, if I'm gonna want a dog, it's gonna be English bulldog. So she bought 2 females, which I guided her on out of Arizona. And like I said, they made her 6 figures, but at the end of the day, there were swimmers, there were issues. It was significantly more work with the English than a French bulldog.
It's a lot of work with the Frenchies too.
It's a lot of work. So imagine that.
That's crazy.
It was.
Yeah, that would be crazy. Just trying to fathom the thought. But I know English Bulldog works out for a lot of people because low exercise. They don't want to
Right. Right.
Good home environment. They good.
Well,
they shed a lot.
And that's the thing.
Yeah.
All the things that you just mentioned, you put Avatar in there. That motherfucker not gonna shed, or I say not gonna shed a lot, and he gonna lay in that pancake position as long as you want to watch football, as long as you want to watch whatever you doing, chilling,
Exactly.
and then you want to go. He's on go.
And that's also the dogs that I produce with Nugget, with my stud. Man, he the most chill dog. He just like Avatar. So what dog would you say put you on the map? So out of all the years you've been breeding, what was that one dog that you say, you know what? You
100% Avatar. Shout out color
Shout out
coder
Avatar.
Frenchies, Vanessa Gravitz,
Okay.
color coded Frenchies. She's out of South Dakota,
Okay.
and she's pulled in some. She pulled in two new, and like when I went out there, I worked on. Obviously, we built a relationship, but I also worked on. Hey, look, you just pulled in two new studs for close to $1 million. Two studs, $1 million. That's all I'm gonna say. Don't let him fall by the wayside because he been killing it. Everybody loves him. Let me take him to Atlanta because Atlanta has not seen anything like Avatar. And when I first took him, I started posting videos. People were, this fucking scammer, blah blah blah. Ain't no way Vanessa let go of Avatar. He's they were like it was crazy. But then finally she started confirming, hey, look, Avatar has moved to Atlanta. He's in the South now. And people started calling him, he's the goon, the goblin. They loved him. They fell in love with him.
So what that feel was like when you dropped the bag on him? Like, and you like, man, this is probably one of the biggest investments of my life. I just put on the dog.
It was rough. It's psychologically
close to
rough.
$100,000.
It's psychologically rough.
To a lot of people, that's life changing money. So what was your how was that feel to make that type of investment and not only to make the investment but also to reap the rewards from that investment?
I guess the best answer is it goes back to what I said. I do this shit 24/7. I believe in this shit, man. I'll take this boy to the top of the map. I don't care who he is, what his name. He had Avatar was one of the originals, but as far as being out in South Dakota, like the Fluffy, he didn't really have a name. Put Avatar in Google now. You know what I'm saying? Like, I took him to the map, and I just believed in it. I believed in it like I believe that this table's holding me up.
That's right.
And I just had that crazy faith, and a lot of people told me I was crazy. My mom, my dad, oh my God, why don't you just start, Rothschilds and this and, what I'm saying, real estate and blah, blah, blah. But now they all asking me for a puppy.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
They see, man, he was really on to something.
Hey, let me buy into a quarter. I'm sorry, we on, you know what I'm saying? And you can get his son. You can get one of his sons, maybe a daughter.
And see, that goes back to my whole vision with the podcast. It's like, people so you gonna start a show and y'all gonna talk about dogs? I'm like, yeah, we're gonna talk about dogs.
Yep.
But these not your average dogs.
No.
These dogs costing homes and cars and stuff like that. So,
and
as they start to believe in this whole thing, and they starting to see, your Avatar's $100,000 dog coming in. So we don't even know what he's worth now.
And if you really think about it, if we really want to talk about net worth, Avatar's probably bid 150 times plus at $5K. So what's the math on that?
5 times 150.
So is that $500,000?
Avatar is $500,000 dog we got sitting right here.
You know what I'm saying? He's sitting right here.
Yeah.
And he's still doing 6 a day, 3 a day. Like he damn near like we.
I seen your page. Yeah, you was doing the breeding like this morning.
He and them filet mignon for breakfast, top sirloin for lunch.
Exactly.
Like, we gotta
so
feed
like,
him.
yeah. So what you do about food? Like raw food, kibble.
Raw food, I mix it up. I do raw food, kibble. I do there's like stud supplements that I'll do. But for the most part, he's like me. Like he's my roommate. I treat his ass like the dog that he is. That's the problem with a lot of people is they be getting these dogs and then lock their ass up. They put them in the back. They don't show them out. You walk to Trilith. You walk to Trilith out there where they film in Marvel Studios and you say Avatar, everybody gonna know who Avatar is. Yeah. And they don't even do French Bulldogs. They don't even do dogs.
Yeah, exactly.
But you say Avatar,
yeah,
they know who Avatar is. He's a mascot.
Exactly.
And that's just how it is. He's with me, you know, whether I was at this podcast, whether I'm flying out, whether I'm going on vacation. And I realize you can't do that with all your dogs. Yeah. But when you talking top studs, 6 figures, you got to treat them that way.
You're right. You're right.
Because, and you got to, it's a part of the psyche too. Avatar walks around like that motherfucker's $1 million. Sometimes I look at him like, God damn, like wait for me to walk in the door. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Like,
yeah, like nah, that's what you want them to feel that. Yeah, like I'm earning my keep. I ain't just around here. Yeah, I'm earning my keep.
And he ain't some soft dog that's gonna go out here and then gonna shortchange me when I bring 6 dogs in, because this motherfucker gonna throw 20 cc's of semen when I need it. You know what I mean?
That's
like,
a real stud, dog.
Yeah, he's gonna look at me and be like, "What we gotta do today?"
Exactly.
And he's gonna get it.
Exactly.
And I'm gonna do whatever it takes to make sure that he's taken care of, happy. You know, that dog don't live in a kennel; he lives in a bed. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like real talk.
Yeah, and he's supposed to. Yeah, he's
like,
supposed to.
Figure that shit out. If you don't like dogs, put him in a put him in a throne, some shit. Let him have some shit. You know what I mean? Because that's just how it is.
Yeah, let's see him. I want to take a look at
Avatar. Okay.
Yeah.
We need some with Casey. You want to bring him up, or you want to bring him up? Okay.
Exactly. Let's take a look at Adam.
Bring him up here. You can bring him up here, Casey.
Yeah, sit him right here.
Just sit right here, right between us.
It's a $500,000 dog. This is why we brought Exotic Dog Talk podcast to you guys so y'all can see. Like, yeah, you can spend you $5-6K on a dog. You can go all in and you're gonna reap the benefits for going all in. Like look at it. Like the proof's in the pudding.
The proof's in the pudding, man. They speak for themselves.
For sure.
Yep. Temperament, demeanor, all that.
Yeah, you can tell his temperament is just like I say, like my dog Nugget. Like it's the same.
You gonna check you out, check me out. Abby.
He's like, what's going on? Yeah, so somebody wanna get the dog.
Oh yeah, back to Casey. He's an easy stacker too. You don't want to look right here.
Exactly. You might want to stack them up for the camera. Yeah, exactly. He hard. Huh?
He feel it too, man. He ain't built. He ain't sticks and bones. He built.
He built right. That was a good investment. So yeah. So
it was, man. It was. It was the best investment I made besides my female Isabella.
Oh, so you have a few you in the Isabella?
Yeah.
I haven't quite went Isabella yet because I'm just trying to see how the fads go. They starting to change so much. It's like got to try to keep up with them. But we're gonna go and try to wrap this episode up here with Brandon, Bad and Bougie Kennels. His at name right there below. We're gonna drop it right there. Y'all give him a shout out. Y'all see down to earth, humble dude, serious about his craft, serious about his work, and he producing some of the best bulls we got coming out the South. So I just want to tell you thank you for coming on the show,
yes,
chopping it up with me, man. And I appreciate that. And I know we're gonna do some business later, so
Oh, for sure.
yeah. So this
So this ain't the last time we come out
for
here.
sure, for sure. So,
We'll be out here.
yeah.
Exotic Dog Talk. The #1 dog podcast in the world.